Welcome to KyCPA's Behind the Numbers. I'm Kimberly Lindsay, your host, and KyCPA's Communications, Marketing, and Creative Director. I want to welcome Ryan Brock to our podcast. Ryan, can you just give me a little bit of background about how you became interested in accounting and where you went to school? We can just start from there.
Yeah, of course. So I was blessed. I'm pretty much like born and raised on NK's campus. My mom's taught there for, oh God, probably 20 years now. So it was pretty much an obvious choice that I was going to go there for my undergrad. And when I first came to college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I know I was looking at like engineering. I was looking at maybe become a teacher myself. Like I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I had a few good conversations with a little bit of some older guys on campus, and that kind of pointed me in the direction of business. And then that's a whole, can of worms on itself. There's 1,000 business majors. There's so many different avenues. There's so many different, just the alleyways you can go into in business. And I think it was just that first, accounting, 200 class that I took, with just like financial accounting. Like, I think that was like the first spark. I was like, okay, like I kind of stumbled my way into this, but I'm actually kind of good at it. And I actually really enjoyed it. And I was like, I'm good at it. I might as well stick with it. And so far, I've been blessed and I've been lucky with it. So that's all I can really ask for.
You started an internship. When was that?
It was this past busy season spring. So that was about beginning of January. And then mine, I had a month extension on. So mine didn't end until around April.
And who was your internship with?
It was with PricewaterhouseCoopers.
What were the main things that you was beneficial from that internship?
Just seeing just how just the operations of a firm, especially a massive firm like PwC is, and then really just getting that experience on the audit team. You really don't kind of get that experience in college of working through an entire company, start to finish in the audit. So in the busy season audit at least. So that's one experience that you really can't get from a classroom. Is engaging with your audit team, having senior associates, having managers, having partners talk to you, email you, meetings, pretty much just the whole flow of the workday. I think is very hard to simulate, obviously, in a college setting. So just being able to have that time and just see how everything works. Just when I step into that position come next year, it's going to make the transition so much easier, and just it's just that little bit more confidence. Even now, when I'm doing my still in my studies, there's a little more confidence that I know, okay, this applies to this, and this is how it's going to go once I do get there.
Did you work in an office or were you virtual because of COVID, and how did that work?
So I was completely virtual. This was back, like I said, in the spring. So, the world's kind of opening up, kind of not opening up, kind of wishy-washy. It just depends. But they decided to keep us fully virtual. So yeah, it was completely virtual. I wish I would have gotten in the office, but I still had a great experience, and we still got the audit done online over Zoom, just like we're doing now. So it didn't really take anything away from me for sure.
What advice would you give someone that is looking for an internship?
My number one advice really is just your marketability. At the end of the day, yourself as a brand, and you got to show. There's a lot of business students out there. There's a lot of schools out there. But the good thing is there's a lot of companies out there. There's a lot of companies that are hiring. It's just making sure that you put yourself in the best light, in the best position. 90% of the battle is just getting the interview. Once you can get the interview, that's the remaining 10%, and that's where you just have to go to work and just market yourself another 10%. But it's really that 90% challenge is just getting the interview, getting the call back. And like I said, it's that marketability phase, and just adding aspects that differentiate you from other students, pretty much.
Did you utilize any of KYCPA's interview days or any of their services for that?
Yes, I did attend one of the interview days. It was extremely beneficial because before working at the firm, I was a bank teller for 2 years, so I hadn't done an interview in 2, 3 years maybe up to that point. So my interview skills were pretty rusty to say the least, especially with COVID and being at home. Like it was rusty. So I definitely needed it to shake the rust and get back in it and get to talking with people, and hearing those questions that you're going to be heard over and over and over again in an interview. Just having those bullet points just nailed down.
As you're studying for the CPA exam, do you have any tips for anyone that is going through that as well?
Yeah. Well, one, get better. That's number one. Two, it's really a devotion of time, and I think it's really, would love to see the statistics on it, but it's just the time spent studying, and it's really just a metric of time put into the output of results on the exam. Is kind of what I've been seeing is just like, oh, if I don't really put the time into this section, it hurts me later down the road in other sections. So it's really just having consistency and having a plan that's very as consistent. I think it's consistency is probably like number one is having the time, the consistency to consistently go through the material that will lead all the way to the end of the exam.
Is there an allotment of time from your employers for studying, or is there time in your curriculum that they allow what or how they help you study?
So me personally, I won't start like physically taking the exams until next summer because I start with the firm in fall of 2022. But as of right now, so it's pretty much just college time, part-time job time, and then CPA exam time. So right now, I would assume, especially if you're working full-time taking it, and I understand the difficulty because I feel like with the school and then with part-time, it kind of feels full-time, and it's just choosing to study over other things. I feel like it's just really just using the best of my time because I know the return on investment of my time into this certification is going to be leaps and bounds of anything else I'm going to be doing, whether it's going to the rec, playing basketball, or something like that. Like my time invested in studying now is going to be well worth it, uh, even in a year from now. When I do walk through those doors first day. So it's really just keeping focus and being like, okay, this right now might not be the most fun, you know what I mean? As senior in college, but I understand that, it's essential and that it has to be done. So might as well get it done now while I have the time.
And what other interests do you have? You mentioned basketball. What other things that you do when you're not studying for the CPA exam before, and that you hope to get back to soon?
Oh yeah, I mean this semester for sure that the schools are finally opening back up. I'm involved in a fraternity on campus, Alpha Tau Omega, and we're super excited to get back on campus and all the events we do, whether that's philanthropy, whether that's social events. It's a really exciting time. Everything's opening back up, and everyone's on campus and seeing everyone's faces again. It's just weird because we haven't seen that in a year and a half, 2 years. So it's a weird thing, but it's an exciting time. And it sucks that it comes at my senior year, but at least I can say I get one more year of it, and hopefully.
You mentioned that you were going to be fully employed
Mhm.
after school. Who is that
Yeah.
with, and
Uh,
what position?
so I will come in as an assurance associate at PwC. I'll be working at the office in downtown Cincinnati. So that's usually how they would do it is they start you in the fall after you graduate. So you kind of have like that summer time, that summer period to really crank out exams and study. So they give you that little bit of time before you start.
Do you believe that that was a direct correlation with your internship with them?
Yes, yeah. I think that the experience I had with the internship, the opportunities they gave me, and then the work I was able to produce, and the connections I was able to build with my team through that internship was pretty much the sole reason that an offer was eventually extended. So very gracious for it.
And do you have any other advice for those in high school considering their career options, why
Mhm.
they should choose accounting?
Yeah, I mean it's an amazing field. It's very versatile. Um, while there's other business majors that are amazing, I don't know if there's one that's as versatile as accounting. And the career avenues you can take with accounting are really endless. They're limitless. There's so many possibilities you can take. There's so many avenues you can take. You can work in finance with an accounting career. You can do anything you want with an accounting career, really, in business, because the skills needed for it are valuable in almost every sector of business, probably every sector of business. So if I would tell someone like a young business student or a young high school student, like I would keep my options open, but I would definitely dog ear and bookmark accounting as a very versatile and efficient major that will lead to job opportunities, growing job opportunities every year for it. So
I want to thank you, Ryan, for joining me today and doing this interview. And it was really nice meeting you, and encourage you to use KYCPA and all of your networking opportunities to continue your journey, and good luck studying for the CPA exam. And I look forward to seeing you at one of our future banquets when you do receive your CPA. I hope to see you in the office in person at some point. That'd be great.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.